God damn,
All
my
right,
lips are so numb.
We're recording.
My lips are so numb.
What better way to start a first podcast than with numb lips? Hey everybody, this is Nick, and I've got Skylar with me today
What's up?
on the Dropouts podcast. Working title, not set in stone, just appropriate for the story we're going to tell today, and, well, appropriate for my last week in general. We've both had interesting last week. Skylar, you want to tell us about your last week?
I mean, there's not really too much that's been going on. I've mostly just been hanging out, watching people on Twitch. Like, you know.
I mean, kidney infection is really serious. You're practically a dead man walking.
I forgot about that. Okay, I'm not a dead man walking, first off. Kidney infection, like, if it's not being treated, it can get that serious. But ultimately, it's not that serious. And it more happens with women, so I'm not really sure how this one slipped by the radar and hit me.
I mean, are they certain you're a dude? Like,
I mean,
we do have a camera. Do you want to show the camera your proof that you're
Oh,
a dude?
yeah. No, dude, totally. I've been waiting for this. You said we were going to actually wait until season 10. Season 10. What the fuck?
Yeah, okay.
Kidney infections fucking suck. It got really bad there for a while because my dumb ass had been taking a leave to try and get through work for it. And, apparently a leave attacks the kidneys. My ass, like, I should have been taking ibuprofen or something. So once I cut that shit out, I was feeling a lot better. It still feels like you're pissing razor blades in magma, but at least you ain't got that swelling that's, like, pushing up against your back. That's just the worst. I would not wish that shit on my worst enemy.
Problem with meeting my eyes or something? You keep looking everywhere but at
it's because
me.
you're making such a point of, like, you're not just casually like, hey, let's have an eye-to-eye conversation. You're
I'm
like drilling me. It's a little intimidating, I'm not gonna lie.
Alright. I'm listening. That's all. Alright.
I don't know why, and that's something I need to work on. I don't know why I always feel the need to, like, look around when I'm talking to somebody. Because I don't feel like I do it out of, like, submissiveness or any sort of passiveness. I just, I don't know how it is. I think better when I'm, like, looking away.
See, I avoid people's glances when I'm, like, walking or, like, for instance, when I'm working and, like, motherfuckers are just walking back and forth. Like, I'll look at them for a second, but I can't look at them for more than a second or it starts feeling weird.
It does.
You know?
It feels weird.
So it's like, I run out of places to look if people stick around too long, because they'll be like, oh, I looked at that dude for too long, and then I'll look this way, and there's like a lady down that aisle, and it's like, fuck. And, you know, I just keep swapping where I'm looking, trying not to look at anyone too long, especially coworkers, you know.
Auto-targeting everybody, like,
yeah. I'm sure I look like a freaking Escape from Tarkov in PC, just fucking looking for the nearest bit of combat. I don't know.
And it's always weird when you look back at somebody again, and it's like they consciously know. They already, like, you both made passing glances, and you're like, okay, cool. But you're chilling, and then you run out of shit to look at, and you're like, okay, I could look at this guy again. I'm gonna do a quick glance. Boom. And then your eyes meet again, and then he just thinks, like, you're staring at him.
Yeah. My neck legitimately starts to hurt because I'm avoiding looking at someone. Like, it's like that whole part of my peripherals cut off. So it's like, oh, fuck. You know, like I start to get a crick in my neck.
You've got the anxiety cramp in your neck. We call that getting wetty with the neck.
We should maybe turn the gain down a little. We
Is
are
it a little
peaking
too loud?
Occasionally.
I can pop this.
Better
bad
to
boy
do
down
it
a
now
little
while
bit.
we're only 4 minutes in
Right.
before we do a whole podcast that's fucked.
Yeah.
But no, when I'm talking to people, I have no problem looking at them directly in their face, which not until like you and a few other people have mentioned it did I realize that other people have an issue with that. Like,
Yeah.
I do have an issue, like, if I'm not talking to you, looking you in the face. Like, I'll look at my toes while I'm walking to class.
Right. I'm not
or
just gonna
something.
stare at you in the eyes like while you're walking past or something.
Yeah. But, like, if I'm talking to someone, I'll look that motherfucker in the face. Obviously, we're not PG, by the way, guys. I mean, I've said the F word 5 times in 4 minutes.
Oh, wow. We're already up to 5, huh?
I think 5.
Breaking records
Motherfucker
here.
counts, right?
Yeah. No, yeah, motherfucker totally counts.
Okay. I didn't know if that was a, you know.
No, it gets a separate counter. It's like another level of fuck severity.
Yeah.
So
I mean, motherfucking's all the rage nowadays if you check out Pornhub, you know. But we should get into that on a different episode.
Maybe this one, but we'll see.
Yeah, today we're going to talk about, dropping out. Because, are you going to spill coffee on your phone? Like,
no, actually, it was gonna go away from the phone and then onto your carpet. So, you know.
It's fine as long as you lick it up.
A crisis. That's going directly on the podcast. That'd be the next episode, me licking coffee from the carpet.
Yeah, I'd have to actually get up and maneuver the camera so we could watch you lick it up.
Yeah, you're gonna have to give me money to do that, by the way. Yeah,
you're gonna have to give
$5
me money
under the table tax. Oh yeah, I'm gonna give you money.
I mean,
for the opportunity.
For my dom work. You know. What? It's a legitimate business.
Yeah, so definitely not PG. No.
But. Dropping out, it's relevant because I dropped out like 3 or 4 days ago. I've lost count. Who knows? My life is over for the second time. Oh yeah, I've dropped out twice.
Yeah, I've only dropped out once.
But I'm 24. How old are you, Skylar? You wanna go ahead and give some more personal info out there?
I'm 28 years old. Ugh. My social security number is 782.
Okay, boomer. Fucking hell, that was the easiest scam ever.
Yeah, no shit.
I'm gonna go ahead and cut out the first part of this podcast, steal your identity, and it doesn't matter that I dropped out anymore. I've got a whole identity to burn on credit cards.
No, because, you know, obviously we're friends. We talk a lot outside of the podcast. From like what, you know, we've talked to each other about this kind of thing before. It's kind of interesting that's like two different things. Because for me, it was high school. And for you, it's college.
Yeah, twice college.
Those are like two different experiences almost.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be different. I don't know if you'll remember yours as much since it's a little bit further in the past.
It's been over a decade.
Yeah. One of mine is obviously pretty recent. That one might be a little bit harder to talk about. I might talk about my older one first because that one's more set in stone in my mind. You know, I know what went down there. This time it's still a little fresh. I don't know where I'm going yet, so
right.
No need to count my eggs before they hatch.
Right.
On this one, I might give like minor details, but there's not a lot of major stuff yet. So do you want to start? Do you feel comfortable starting with yours?
Sure. Mine's actually pretty interesting, considering it's something that I haven't really thought about for a while. And then lately I kind of find myself like thinking about it again and just kind of pulling some old memories I may have forgotten. But essentially it was my senior year in my high school, essentially my high school career. I kind of started smoking weed around senior year. And see, I was always an age of like, why am I saying an age? I was like a year above everybody else because I had like a middle of the school birthday. So I was like October, it was late. So I was always like, you know, a year above everybody else. So it was around 17, almost turning, I believe I was like a month away from turning 18. I think it was in September. And like, I ended up coming to school and like, I used to have these like dress shoes. And they were like these platform ones that I used to wear because I would also be like, serving people at hotels. That was my job that I had at the time.
While in high school, you were serving at hotels.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like a little banquet hall thing that people would have meetings at.
That's a pretty good job for in high school. All I did was self-serve frozen yogurt, which isn't a job. It's standing there. Honestly, the fact that I got hired as an acne-riddled, like, ugly teenage boy when all the others were, like, hot teenage girls, don't know how that happened.
Oh man, oh god, the fucking the sexism that some of these trades have upset me. That's something for a different episode, but like
it's more
trying to get on with Chili's. Like if you were a chick, like then you got it golden. If you weren't a chick, then you couldn't be a waitress.
Okay, but these aren't exactly good jobs.
No, they're not. They're absolutely not.
Girls get easier than guys. These are like
Chili's was
kind of the shittier jobs, like waitressing and like being a secretary. Like, is that? I mean, yeah, that's not exactly something that everyone's fighting for. Like, you know, I don't think many men have complained about not standing a good chance for those jobs. I was just surprised I got it.
Right.
It's more weird to me that they'll do it even when it comes to hiring teenagers. They're more likely, like, a fast food place is more likely to hire a hot teenage girl than a hot teenage guy,
Yeah.
I feel like. And that's weird. I mean, I get it. Maybe they're trying to... I don't know. I don't get it.
I mean, I don't... And that's something that I kind of noticed more, like, moving from a smaller town to... Can I say it without doxing it? It's a college town. But moving to a college town from a smaller town, you do notice there is a lot more, hot college chicks that have all these service industry jobs. It's like overrun.
I think that's also a little skewed because college in general, girls go to more than guys.
Yeah.
So any college town's just going to have more girls in general. I mean, like, I was looking into a freaking therapist, and there's 52 female therapists in this town and 10 males. It's like, yeah, the skew is pretty hard in a college town, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Which I guess we shouldn't complain about.
Yeah.
Being outnumbered's better than the alternative when you're still in the dating
sausage factory town.
Yeah. I mean,
but so anyways,
yeah, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
Tangents.
Well, yeah, those are gonna happen, so get fucking ready for that. But anyway, so like it was about a month before I was supposed to graduate, and I use graduate liberally because around the end of my high school career, I just stopped giving a shit altogether. Like, I don't know what it was, but like it's something that still kind of haunts me. Like sometimes I have like dreams about being back in high school and stuff. So like not actually caring like when I had the opportunity and could have been doing a lot better than I am right now. Like it's one of my main like things that I'm just like, I'd go back and change that if I could. But I didn't really give a shit at the time. So I would have actually been surprised if I'd have graduated anyways, if I was allowed to take my math final. But
like, okay, if you failed that math final, you weren't going to graduate?
No, yeah,
okay.
no. That math final was pretty much my Hail Mary. I was either going to get a D-.
So in your senior year, it still mattered. See, a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
their senior year doesn't matter anymore. Like, maybe one class matters out of everything, and, like, all the rest is just extracurricular stuff.
Right,
you know?
right. And if I could have bagged that math out early, then I wouldn't have had to worry about it for pretty much my senior year, but I kind of pushed off all the harder stuff. Like
Gotcha.
The classes I don't want to do. Like, I'm not going to start high school and then fucking start taking Algebra 1. Like, fuck that.
Huh. All right, continue. I don't want to start a tangent again. If you pause too long, I will.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like,
Man, your laugh peaks more than
oh my
anything.
god! See, I need to cut that back. It's so hard for me to do. Like, it's just I have this bassy laugh.
It's like we're normal, and then you go, and it doesn't even sound that loud to me, but it's like.
Well, we can go and like normalize it.
Yeah, we'll go.
We'll fuck with it.
We'll fuck with it.
It won't be as bad for you guys. But essentially, so like, yeah, so I was about a month away from doing the finals and then being like, okay, I'm gonna graduate. And so I came to school one day and like I had these platform shoes that I, like I said, I was working that server job. And like you could take the bottoms of them out, like, because it was like the pad for like, your insoles and stuff. And then there was like, it wasn't really cardboard, but it was kind of like wood, but not really. But you could like take it off, and then inside the heel, the platform heel, was like the perfect place to hide weed. Like, and then you just like layer everything back on it, step on it. You can't. It's impossible to find. So I had that on me, and I completely forgot. This was one of the few times like I completely forgot, because I've had weed on me in school before, but like I completely forgot I had that on me until I met up with some friends before class started, and we normally would just go off, smoke a cigarette like a block away from campus to come back, because seniors were allowed to leave campus and come back if needed. So like I keep saying campus, I technically a campus.
Yeah,
but like
I think it's a campus as long as it's an education.
Yeah, as long as it's
property.
Academia.
But don't ever use that voice. What was that? Like, is that? Damn.
Sorry.
But
I need to cut it down.
that voice is like a 50-year-old woman that smoked cigarettes her whole life.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
I was going for
where did you pull that?
I was going for like a really fucked up Marge.
I know you're dying from kidney infection, but like,
yeah, no, it's directly affects your throat. your ability.
Also, if you're gonna do hand movements, keep your elbows up. You're shaking this table.
Oh, my bad. Fuck, I didn't even realize.
I don't think it's a big deal, but I don't know if it's like causing any like tiny sounds that I'm not seeing.
Right.
Like just the mic getting shook probably constantly.
Right, and those are harder to edit out in post if they're not consistent sounds. But so anyways, yeah, so like I met up with one of my friends, and like I said, seniors could leave campus and come back like anytime they wanted, essentially, as long as you weren't in class. So I met up with one of my friends, and he's like, dude, I got some papers. And I was like, oh shit, I just realized I have some weed. So like we went across the street and like ended up smoking up beside this building that was across the street from our school. And so like after we got done smoking, we were just chilling there and talking, and like we smoked a cigarette. And like we were walking back to get up on campus, and then the vice principal comes walking up, and we're like, oh shit. And he's like, yeah, one of the teachers saw you guys leave, the school premises. You're not allowed to do that. Once you come onto school property, you're not allowed to leave school property until it's a designated leaving school property time. But like, so we're like walking back, and we're like, okay, he hasn't said anything yet. We're fine. Like we're not fucked. But like, as we start walking back, he like stops and he smells, and he's like, were you guys smoking? And we were like, yeah, we had a couple cigarettes. And he's like, no, follow me. And like, so we ended up going into his office, and like, I already had this shit put back in my secret shoe trap door. So I was like shaken, but I was unbreakable. Like, I mean, you could grill me, which they did. They grilled everybody. They pulled everybody in individually and just started grilling everybody. Like, hey, they started with me. They went through all my books. Like, they even, thankfully I didn't use it this time, but I used to like take my books and like it would have a fold over spine, because it was like one of the big ones, and like the hollow spine that was fold over on top and bottom, and I would stack some weed in there and then like fold it over.
What are all the cubby holes for?
Well, the thing is that like, and this is something that I don't want to get into right now. We can probably get into it later if needed. Like that I feel like I was just, all of my instances and those issues and stuff like that was all a product of smoking too early. I wasn't, old enough to actually make proper decisions with smoking weed. Yeah. So it was more like I was just fiending for it all the time. And like I was willing to be like super risky with it. Like I still wake up in fucking cold sweat sometime when I think about like how risky I've played it before. Like, so, yeah, so they grill me, they're looking through all my books and everything, and then they take off my shoes, they like look in there and shit, and then they're like, all right, go sit out in the office. Like, so I go out and I sit, and they grill the other two people, and then they pull me back in, and they say, if you don't take apart your right shoe and show us what's in there, I'm gonna get the pliers and do it for you. So I ended up taking it out, and then I was like, okay, fuck, these guys snitched on me.
Yeah, obviously.
About to go Trippy Red. I'm about to call Trippy Red out. These guys straight up these guys straight up snitched on me. So like, yeah, the other reason I knew that was because I was the only one that got jail time. I'll get there in a second. I was the only one that got the suspension. Like, they got a 5-day suspension. I got a 2-week suspension. Like, they also tried to hit me with a trafficking charge because I was distributing it to people by smoking with them. Wow. Trumped up scare tactic shit. Yeah. But like,
you're dealing.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously.
Exactly. Dealing it directly into their lungs. No middleman, dude.
Yep, that's the way to do it. Hey, don't even let them smoke it. You smoke it and then blow it into their lungs.
Yep, exactly. But, so anyways.
That's how you get the kids hooked.
Yep, so the cop comes in, they get a statement from both of, like, all of us, and I was, like, honest with him at that point. I was like, hey, this is where we tossed the papers, like, I did bring it with me. I didn't even realize I had it on me, but then when I was here, I was like, fuck it, why not? And so, like, I ended up, this was still the coolest moment, and it was, like, my oasis in a terrible memory was being not dragged, but like, escorted out of the school, like in handcuffs, and like everybody was just like looking at me, and like I could feel the cool points like radiating.
You thought that was cool?
Yeah, dude, people were talking, like people were cooler with me after that. Like, but like, so like, yeah, I remember getting in the police officer's car, and they're taking me to the juvenile center, and this is something I'll never forget because I was expecting a big old fucking like hammed up lecture, right? I was expecting like, this is gonna lead to that, this is gonna lead to this, from like the officer that's taking me up there. He just turns around, and I shit you not, I still have it burned in my memory word for word. He's just like, don't worry, man, it'll be legal soon enough. And then he just turns back around and starts driving, and I was just like, okay, like, I don't know. That's kind of a shitty thing to say to me right now.
Yeah,
Like, I'm
unless
a little
they're letting
pissed off.
you go.
Yeah, which they had no intention of doing. So I got taken over to juvie, and then I ended up, mom came pick me up, and that was probably one of the worst experiences ever. Definitely mad and disappointed, so you get the best of both worlds. And like, so I end up, for about 6 months after that, because like directly afterwards I did take a 2-week drug and alcohol safety program thing where I just go in and watch videos for 2 weeks, 6 hours a day during my summer break. Got all that out of the way. So that way I was able to go back to school. That was the rule of me being able to go back into school. So I got all that out of the way, and I'm like, dude, I'm in the fucking clear. So I'm going to start smoking again. So I start smoking again. And then like literally 5 months later, which there was a statute that I guess if you don't get essentially formally, I'm trying to think of the best way to put it, not really charged, but if you don't get like, yeah, I guess in a way charged or like subpoenaed within 6 months of you committing a crime, it kind of just falls off.
Yeah, you had a deferral on the first one. Yeah.
Yeah, so like it was 5.5 months. I get a fucking call on my cell phone, and it's the court. It's the court. And then they're like, you know, pretty much in layman's terms, they were like, okay, the school's done with you. Now let's let the state have our way with you, dog. You got to come to court now. Like, and I was like,
oh, so it wasn't a deferral. Fuck. You still had court? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I got on a deferral after that. And I was on the deferral for about 8 months.
Okay.
Until, like, I just said, fuck it. I had 1 more month to go. It was supposed to be a 9-month deferral. And then, because after that, like, yeah, I was like, fuck it. And then I started smoking because I was living with a friend at the time. And I was just, like, super stressed out. Like, every day I was waking up and just, like, dry heaving every morning. And I think that's probably where some of the, like, where I first became susceptible to ulcers, I believe. Because ever since then, I've just had a weakened stomach. But I remember, like, every morning just waking up and dry heaving, just freaking scared. And, like, I just said, fuck it. And I smoked. And, like, I got hit with a random UA. It was the last month I was supposed to be on deferral. And, like, I got hit with a random UA. And then, like, I just said, fuck it. I'm not going to show up. I know I'm going to piss dirty. So I ended up getting a summons for court. And my mom comes with me. And I was actually talking with my mom yesterday about this. So it's kind of cool, like, because, you know, she's kind of telling me her side of the story. But she didn't know, like, because essentially my ruling was I was either going to have to go take more classes and end up paying, like, fucking $1,000 or some shit, or, like, $2,000. And my mom's only stipulation was, like, I'm not helping you with this. Like, you need to figure this out on your own.
Wow.
Yeah, because she was just done at that point. Like, just, I'm not helping you with this. And, like, at the time, I lost my job. Because between that time and then I, like, ended up losing my job because I ended up moving out of the house and moving in with a friend. Mm-hmm. And so, like, yeah, I ended up losing my job. And so, like, I was like, I'm not paying that. Fuck that. So, like, I call up, I get back in touch with my dad, who I haven't talked to in, like, 6 years. And so, like, I end up talking to him, and he's, like, talking me through it and just being like, dude, don't worry about it. Jail's not going to be that bad. Like, it's not a big deal. Don't freak out about it. I'm over here watching Locked Up, like, on fucking A&E or whatever it is. Just
you
like,
tried to scare yourself?
Well, Jeez. I was like, I need to know watching Maximum Security, like, fucking Alcatraz Island style bullshit, like, freaking myself out. Mm-hmm. And so, like, yeah, the stipulation was do that or to do 10 days in jail. And I didn't tell my mom any of this at the time. I just showed up for court, stood up like fucking DJ Khaled and was like, give me the jail time. And so, like, from there, I just went directly to jail. Like, I did not pass go. I didn't do any of that shit. They just took me directly from there to jail. And my mom's sitting here thinking, like, I'm going to have to go pick up trash by the sidewalk every once in a while or some shit. Like, she didn't expect me to just be like, fuck it, hit me with the jail time. Because I'm not going to fucking do a month worth of classes and pay, like, thousands of dollars for some bullshit. Mm-hmm. I can't. It was like a couple miles away, and my mom was even to the point where she's like, I'm not even driving you to those things. It's like 2 miles away. She's like, you're going to walk after school to go do that. And I'm like, dude, no, I'm not fucking doing that shit. So, like, yeah, I ended up going to jail for 10 days, and
Do you regret not doing the appropriate path or whatever that your mom wanted, the non-jail path, the community service?
Honestly, no, because I think that was a hack as well. Because it wasn't just community service, it was the classes and the payment, which was just killer.
So how much was the jail time total?
10 days.
That's all?
10 days.
For what is this now?
Possession.
Possession.
That's all that I got hit with, possession.
Okay.
And it was under,
it's
I think
only
it was only
10 days for possession?
Yeah.
What state was this?
Kansas.
Okay.
Kansas. So like, and also keep in mind, it was like I was in high school. Like it was my
they went
I've
easy
never
on
had.
you.
Yeah, I never had any.
You were
trouble
under 18,
before.
right?
Yeah. No. Well, see, here's the thing: is that I turned 18 a month after they contacted me after that 6-month period and said, "Hey, court's gonna have their way with you."
Gotcha.
So I was still technically charged as a 17-year-old.
Okay.
Which is why it was able to fall off my record completely and then fuck me out of a job at Walmart years down the line.
Hey, we all need our Walmart jobs.
And honestly, that's the best cock block that's ever happened to me because everybody at Walmart looks dead. So they look completely dead inside. Except for the 1 or 2 random, like, just happy old ladies.
I hear they have a pretty good base minimum wage nowadays, but I don't want to work there.
Yeah. But so yeah, I ended up getting to jail 10 days. To answer your question, honestly, I think the other option was kind of hokey anyways. It was bullshit. Honestly, my biggest regret was just not finishing out the diversion. Because if I would have just stayed clean for 1 more month, put in a couple more job applications, got my grades up, or at least did well on the test, I would have been A-okay.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been fine. It would have even just gone directly off my record.
I understand.
But it was just like the stress of like what's gonna happen, what's not gonna happen. Like, you know, made a bad decision. That's probably the one that I think I regret out of everything. Jail wasn't that bad because like I was stuck in like because they have a pod situation.
Yeah.
Which essentially is just like about 80 bunk beds, like separated by walls that maybe go up to our like nose, so you can still see over them. Maybe even like down to the neck, so you can
like
still
cubicles, but
kind of,
yeah, like kind of like Orange is the New Black, like common space. Level,
yes,
like,
exactly. They called them pods. Yeah, it was a common space, and like essentially, I was just sharing a pod with people that didn't pay child support, people that didn't pay alimony, people that didn't pay parking tickets, like dads. Like I was just chilling with other people that were there for like possibly 15 days max. Except for
so like instead of gangs, you got the fantasy football group, you got the Dungeons and Dragons group.
Well, it was a bit more separated because a lot of it was drugs. Like a lot of it was just drug possession. So it was a bit more separated.
Okay, so
into, like,
you got the heroin users, you got the meth users, you got
dude on pills. Yeah. You got, but
right.
the scariest, I mean, you have a scary group too, because you also have a group of people that are just there to get transferred. They're doing 5 to 25 and like anywhere in between there. And
so those are the ones you go up to and punch on day 1, right?
Yeah, totally. If you want to get killed on possibly the easiest jail stint anybody could have ever had in their whole life.
12 days jail stint? You gotta be the big dog of that 12 days. Come on, this might be your only time going to jail in your life. Might as well up it to 60 days off of an assault charge.
Yeah, well, you're not also counting the 60 days I'm going to be in the fucking infirmary. Realigning my bones and shit and pulling metal shards out from... But those guys were the scariest because they were only there for a couple days.
Yeah.
Like, they were only there for like 3 to 5 days while they were getting transferred from the Kansas Correctional Facility I was at to God knows who, or Albuquerque, fucking Colorado. Like, who knows? So, like, so essentially, like, those were the scariest guys, and there were a couple of those guys, and they had rules. Like, if they wanted to play hoops, because we had, like, an indoor open area gym thing that was just, like, 2 basketball hoops and a little thing that you could walk around.
Yeah.
If they wanted to play hoops, they're playing hoops. Every morning, 10 o'clock in the morning, they're watching soaps on all 3 TVs. The same show.
What show was it?
It's Days of Our Lives.
Days of Our Lives? That's so generic.
And it's always
not
like I don't...
What's the other one? General Hospital or some shit?
Oh, yeah, General Hospital.
That's what
I don't know
Mom
if General
watched.
Hospital is still running. Is it?
They all run forever.
Oh, yeah. They
don't
like
stop.
3 decades.
Yeah, no, dude, they just switch out the actors, and then, like, it's so sad. You'll see the kid act, like, I've tuned in occasionally, like, I'll, like, walk in while my mom's watching it in 2019, and I'll see, like, that the kid actor who used to be young as hell is grown up and is now one of the main adult actors, and it's just like, God, this soap opera is his actual life.
God. Yeah. Imagine some sort of, like, disassociation you get with that, like, down the road when, like, essentially
your whole life is dependent on a soap opera.
Yeah.
Yeesh. That's worse than
your
codependence.
family memories are all scripted kind of thing.
I mean, I'm sure he's got an actual family. I don't think he is.
Oh yeah, no, they don't have him in a
views,
dungeon playing fucking.
I don't think he views the
lives.
soap opera actors are his fam. Yeesh, what peaked so hard? God damn, it just went crazy all of a sudden. It made my eyes open wide in shock at it. I don't know what that was. I don't know
Maybe
if
it was
like
just both of us
the
talking
table
at the
getting
same
hit.
time.
Maybe it was that, yeah.
Probably just overwhelmed it.
Yeah, we
The
peaked it
dual
out.
forces.
All right, continue. We're not done.
Okay, so oh fuck, where was I? I was trying to.
We were talking about the soap opera guys.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, and I don't know if this is like right to say, but it was the biggest, blackest dude. Like I'm talking big, like 300.
You can refer to people's race as long as it's not racist.
Well, no, yeah, it's not racist because it was an actual guy, but
Yeah.
like he owned the TVs during soap opera time, and he would watch like 3 of them in a row. So it would be like his 3 different shows, and so from like 10 o'clock to like 2 or 3 o'clock, that's it, soap operas. And then after that, ironically enough, all everybody wants to watch is cops. That's it. Everybody just wants to see other people getting arrested for worse shit.
That's weird, but okay. I
guess
get
it's
it.
some sort of. At least they're just sitting back there like, oh fuck, at least I didn't cop a gun charge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean this guy's got it way worse than I did. At least I didn't try and run. You know.
Oh my god. Yeah, I guess you gotta look at the silver linings.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So 12 days in.
10.
Yo, you only did 10.
Yeah,
at
it
the
was
12?
only 10. It was only 10.
I thought it was 12 total that you had to do.
No, it was only 10.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't.
I don't know.
It wasn't too bad, but
How long have I been saying 12 and you've just been letting me say false information?
Like the past 3 or 4 times.
Wow, okay. This is a good start to a podcast. You're already letting me sound like an idiot. All right. We'll continue that.
Continue.
All right, sir. Is that all you've got to say about your dropout story after...
Yeah, I mean,
what
that's pretty
happened
much it.
after jail?
I got back outside. I took a while to adjust back to the outside world.
Okay.
You know?
10 days in. Sorry.
I mean, 10, 12, what's the difference? I tell people
2
12
days.
sometimes.
Do you really?
Yeah, well, it depends.
Is that why I was saying
tell
wrong?
Tinder
Is
to-
it your fault?
I tell Tinder dates 12. Sometimes I'll throw it to a 14, depending on how much I can get away with it.
I'm not even deeming your Tinder jokes worthy of like replying to. All right.
But
After
yeah,
jail.
no, that's after jail. I mean, that's about it. Moved up with my dad for a while.
You
Hated it.
moved immediately. You didn't go back to living with a friend.
I moved immediately. I stayed with my grandma for like 2 days, just as an after jail thing.
Why didn't you go back to the friend?
Because his mom wasn't really a big fan of me.
Oh, you were staying at with his parents.
Yeah, well, it was him and his essentially it was him and his mom, like single mom kind of situation. So yeah, and she wasn't a huge fan of me. Like I didn't really work that much at the time because like the only other job I had after losing that fucking waitering job or whatever was being one of the tax Statue of Liberty guys standing out there waving in the middle of the fucking
Dude,
snow.
that's my fucking nightmare, dude.
Guess how much you get paid for that shit?
Minimum wage.
No.
What?
Fucking wish it was minimum wage. You get $20 for like a 4-hour shift.
How is that legal?
Because I don't know. I don't think. I mean, I choose to believe it's not, but I also choose to believe a tax like company of all places would not be trying to pull like a fraud scam like that, paying under the table. Although I mean, it was paid under the table.
Oh wow.
None of
Okay,
it was
so it
tax
wasn't
deductible.
legal then.
It might not have been illegal.
It wasn't
It might not
legal.
have
That's
been
why
illegal.
okay. Gotcha. All right. Well, we're going to take a little ad break, guys, partially because this is our first time recording or testing out a recording setup. If it's been scuffed, it's going to get better. We already have plans for the next episode that don't require financial investment because we already have the equipment. We just didn't do it today because we suck. But we won't suck as much. We're going to do an ad break. Check how the first half's recorded. We'll probably do, it's not going to be a real ad break, but we're going to call it an ad break.
Yeah.
None of these videos are obviously monetized. Who do you think we are, PewDiePie?
Exactly.
All right.
Low hanging fruit, but that's all right.
What? Saying PewDiePie?
Yeah, kind of.
I can't say the word PewDiePie without it being low hanging fruit.
No, easy pickings.
Okay.
Easy.
Insert other YouTuber name here.
There you
like,
go.
whatever.
Be ironic about it.
Fuck your ass. We're going net break.
That was a glorious ad, by the way, I want to say.
What ad?
That we just played.
Did we play an ad?
I don't know, did we?
I mean, we'd have to make an ad to play an ad.
Sure. I mean, if you're going to put the effort in, put the effort in early.
I mean, okay. Do we only make one ad and then just use that ad a lot, do you think? Like, do we cop out? Or do we make a new ad for every podcast and go hardcore for our 0 viewer audience?
We can make like a shit ton during downtime or some shit and then just cycle them.
Okay.
And then throw in, like, if we're doing new, like, sketches or anything like that.
Do we steal jokes?
Possibly.
Okay.
Depends on how desperate we get.
I'm pretty desperate.
Me too.
Okay. Just, all right. So, are we starting?
Oh, wait, were we not already started?
Oh. You want to leave all that in?
I thought, sure. I thought that's what we were doing.
Okay, we're going to leave all that in.
We're leaving it in.
Hey, guys. Welcome back.
What an ad break. Wonder what those two motherfuckers did.
No, I'm joking. So we already heard Skylar's dropout story. I guess it makes it my turn. I feel like maybe I should have gone first.
I tried telling you this.
Just because mine's not as good, maybe? I don't know.
No, dude, it's gonna be good. It's your story. That's
Okay.
the whole point.
So I dropped out in college. It was my junior year, the first semester of it. But it didn't really start there. It kind of started sophomore year, second semester, I think. Yeah. So second semester, sophomore year, I stopped going to class most of the time. I pretty much didn't go to class anymore. I had accounting was one of my classes. I remember that. And I had business writing. That was another of the classes I never went to. Yeah, I was a business major. I was an accounting major.
What's business writing?
It's Comp 2, but for business majors. So it's like, hey, instead of bothering to teach you how to write good essays, we're going to teach you how to write memos.
Oh my god.
Hey, dude, America.
I mean,
we're going to teach you how to write a good email.
I could see that being...
Or like, not just memos and emails, but like a corporate report and shit, like with evidence and stuff. So for the final paper, for instance, in business writing, we were supposed to do a big old report on something. And I had pitched, and he gave us like some topics we could choose from, but he said we could pitch one to him.
Right.
And I knew the dude was a nerd. So I pitched to him like how online card games were affecting paperback as my topic. And he was all down for that. He was even like, "Oh, I'm friends with one of the people who does a lot of artwork for Magic the Gathering."
Oh,
and
awesome.
it's like, so he was on top of it, and yeah, I never wrote the paper. I think I wrote maybe a paragraph, but that was the final paper in that class. And so what happened was when it came down to finals, I'd already been skipping class for a long time at this point.
Right.
And I pretty much assumed I was already going to fail business writing because there was a rule that if you miss more than 5 absences, it's an auto fail for business writing.
Oh, shit.
I don't know why I didn't auto fail because I definitely missed more than 5 classes, but I didn't, I guess. But that was my reasoning behind not even doing the final paper, was because I was so behind on all my other finals. I decided, screw it, I'll skip this final paper. And then, so that was business writing. And then accounting, I pretty much only attended class for the tests. I went for the first couple classes in the semester. I was like, man, I hate this teacher. She seemed like a real cunt. And yeah, so based off of that, I was like, I'm not going to this anymore.
Right.
I can teach myself this, because she was basically just teaching straight out of the textbook, and accounting 1 had been pretty paint by numbers, so I figured the second accounting class wouldn't be much worse.
Right.
So I only attended for the tests, and I think I had done decent actually on the midterms and stuff, so I was not really worried about self-teaching the class. Right. And then it gets to the final, and I do the same thing there. And then I go home for the summer, and my dad's like, got the grades in the mail or whatever, however it was back then, I don't remember. And he's like, you want to talk about your grades?
Uh-oh.
And I'm instantly like, fuck, I got an F in business writing, you know? So I'm like ready to like get, because this was the guy who was not like okay with anything.
Right.
So an F in business writing, like me having to explain that I would have to take that class again and then like change the grade, that wasn't going to fly with him, I don't think.
No-go zone there.
But, yeah, no, he's like, so you got a C in accounting. And I'm like, oh, what'd I get in business writing? And he's like, an A, why?
So how did that happen?
So I go to look at the grades, because this shocked the shit out of me.
Mm-hmm.
The guy just didn't put in the paper, even as a 0, so... Therefore, it was as if it was 100%, essentially.
It's like the paper never existed.
Yeah, it was like the paper never existed. So it actually boosted my grade. Like, I went from a B to an A. Yeah.
Did that work class-wide on the grading situation? Like, were a lot of people pissed off that they had to do that paper and it didn't even count? Or was it just like
no,
an
he just
anomaly
didn't grade it. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, properly. He was known for being notoriously late on grades, so I don't know what happened on his end. I don't know. I got an A in the class, though.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Shit. I'm not complaining.
Yeah, not complaining. That's not on my end. That's not cheating. I just didn't complain.
No.
But yeah, I got a C in accounting. Like, it went from, like, an A to a C, so I must have fucked that final. Or I think I maybe had planned on getting a B in accounting. I don't remember. But for my business writing to go up, that's what shocked me. Either way, back to dropping out. That was my last real semester, because, like, I'd gotten so used to dropping out. That was not dropping out, skipping class. But that was bound to continue. So, first semester junior year, I don't even remember what classes I was in. I think I maybe attended one of them before realizing that, like, I don't know, I think I thought my workload was too hard, and I, like, planned on dropping all of them before the ad drop date and switching to easy online classes or something. Like, I was just pulling the gonna extend this degree plan. Like, you know, my school was pretty much paid for by scholarship, so I didn't really care. I was gonna take a break for a semester in a way, and somehow it didn't work out on the whole ad drop situation. Like, I didn't meet the actual ad drop date, so I was pretty much gonna have to submit for withdrawal in all those classes if I wanted to get out of them.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, you get like a W on your grade, and you can only get so many W's. You're like only allowed like 5 or 6 or some shit.
Where they just kick you out the whole school kind of thing?
No, I don't know what happens when you max on W's.
Nobody
I really
knows.
don't. You probably go on like academic probation or some shit.
Right.
I don't know. They're not supposed to really affect your GPA at W. That's the whole point of them. But you're not supposed to burn them. Either way, I decide at this point that I'm going to, since I can't do a clean ad drop, I'm like, oh, okay, well, fuck, I guess I do need to start going to these classes. And that never happened. My anxiety was just super overwhelming, and I was like becoming super reclusive, just staying in my apartment all the time. Like, I would only leave to go to this closest gas station to get like some fucking tornadoes and a fucking NOS energy drink or something.
Love tornadoes, man.
Yeah. That was a large part of my diet was tornadoes, and that's not good.
Southwest chicken.
Ugh. Yeah, I don't eat those anymore. For good reason.
Burn yourself out on those. And also, gas station food's fucking terrible for you.
Yeah, fuck gas station food. I don't mess with it unless I'm on a, like, long drive now.
Yeah.
And even then, it's, like, a risk.
It just doesn't have the same magic anymore that it used to.
When I was a kid, I really liked it, for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
But, either way, basically, long story short, fucked up all my classes in that semester by not going and then thinking I could skirt around it. I enrolled in extra classes, planning on withdrawing from the others just to try and maintain my scholarships. And then I ended up just like fully dropping out. Basically,
Yeah.
I think I went back to my hometown, and this is where you come into the story. Actually.
Yes.
Because a mutual friend of ours, Logan, don't feel bad about saying his name because we do plan on having him as a guest.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
He wouldn't mind. He was living in a house all by himself that him and his mom had planned on living in, and she had ended up going back to his stepdad, I think. And so, but she still was leased to the house, so she was leaving him in it and was like expecting him to just find roommates.
Right.
And this just coincided with me coming to town and you and your brother being in town and meeting him. And we were all hanging out together, and I think it just got brought up at some point of us all moving in, essentially. Mm-hmm. And I think I decided right then and there, oh, cool, I have an escape, and I'm going to drop out now.
Yep. And then with mine and my brother's living situation, like living with our dad, who's terrible, we were just ready to just be like, all right, I'm out. Peace. I believe within a week of us bringing that up, we were all living together there.
Yeah, it didn't take long.
Not at all.
It got pitched, and we were basically bringing stuff over that day. Like, I was like, well, I'm not going back. All right.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I'm not going to dox anything, so let's go back to... But either way, that's my dropout story. At least the first time. Like I said, the second time happened fairly recently. Basically... It was probably a mistake to try and go back to school again. I thought I'd matured, you know. I think I dropped out the first time when I was like 20, and I'm 24 now. So I thought I was a little bit more appropriate for higher education now. I don't know. I fooled myself, I think, more than anything. I think the stress is still there, even if I prefer the major. Like, I switched to computer science this time around. And while I enjoyed it more than accounting, I think I still overestimated how much I enjoyed it to deal with the anxiety that comes along with it. Because that's my main reason for dropping out is anxiety. I get that yours was a little bit of smoking too young. That's how you put it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's honestly, there's that anxiety is kind of part of the reason why I'm not jumping into like trying to further an education at this point. I would maybe like to try a trade school or something of that caliber, but like I don't know. I'm still at that phase where I'm trying to find a passion, you know, and I'm scared of making big, because I'm not like a huge risk taker, you know. I'm not a manic person, so I don't like take these huge like risks on the faith that I'm just gonna make it, because sometimes I don't feel like I am, you know, and it's just part of the thought process that comes along with that. And so like one of my biggest worries is getting committal to something, like especially because I don't think I would qualify for shit when it comes to scholarships or anything like that.
Oh, I didn't this second time around. They didn't give me shit. Like, they gave me a tuition waiver. First time around, I was like, you know, Regent scholarship, and I had a scholarship through my dad's workplace, like that they gave to some of the, you know, children of the company who like wrote in essays and stuff, and both of them had like GPA restrictions and stuff, like you got to maintain above a 3.5 or we take it away.
Oh God,
like, that's why he was mad about the C.
That makes a lot more sense, because I was like, oh, I'm over here thinking, dude, a C's not that bad at all, like.
Yeah, he was worried I was going to lose my scholarships. Dude, when he heard I dropped out, dude, he was very mad at me giving up those scholarships. Like, he was very right when he said that they wouldn't necessarily give me it back when I went back to school if I did.
Right.
I really thought they would, but, like, for instance, when applying the second time, they didn't even, like, care about my ACT. So, you know, they didn't give a fuck about my 34? Yeah, I think I got a 34. They didn't give a fuck about that. 34 out of 36, right? I think that's how the ACT works. I know I was 2 points under the max.
It's all Greek to me, man.
And they didn't care. They didn't even ask for it, like ACT scores. They counted me as a transfer student, went off of my GPA on my current credit hours, and like that's it. And that equaled nothing pretty much. And it's crazy to go from like them being like, oh, can we suck your dick? Like, please come to our school. We'll suck your dick. Like, to Yeah, you can leave. Like,
Bye.
yeah. I don't know.
Bye, Felicia.
I'm used to it now, like, but
Right.
it was a shock at first to not have them heavily want me anymore. I guess I'm aged goods.
I mean, it's good. They like them fresh and young. They don't like them.
They like them barely legal.
They don't like them your type around.
The professors, you know, prefer a certain website.
FreshCollegeTeams.com.
Yeah. Yo, college rules.
Jesus Christ.
All right, it did take us long to go from dropping out to porn.
I knew it was going to get to this point. I was actually I was hedging my bets on earlier than this, to be
We
honest.
are at 50 minutes, and we're not wanting to run the first one too long, guys. I'm not going to cut it off right now. We'll go a little bit longer, but we'll start winding down.
Yeah.
In general, maybe just talking about where. Well, shit. I was going somewhere and then gone. That thought was gone.
Well, I mean, we can always just we do have a couple things that we're doing as well besides the podcast.
Oh yeah, we can just self-promote
about
to
some
all
skits.
zero.
Yeah, we can just sit here and jerk each other off.
If we have if we have one people listen to this podcast, they didn't make this long.
No, definitely not.
Just went full mongoloid there for a second. Don't mind me. I'm a college dropout. All right, I'm allowed to be a little dumb.
I get at least 3 of those a day.
Yeah.
I used mine at Walmart, so.
All right. Well, like you said, we're planning on doing bits.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I like bits. He likes bits. You guys might like bits.
I don't care
Would
if
you
they
like
like
to
it
see
or not.
our bits?
We can dangle all
I'll
of
show
our
you
bits
our
in front
bits.
of you. Yeah,
We've got a camera, so we can show you our bits.
we can trade bits. I'll show you his bits. He can show you mine.
All right.
Speaking of stale bits, that bit's getting stale.
Yeah,
so.
this is getting pretty derivative. All right. And you peeked the fuck out there, but we're
That's fine. We'll normalize it. It's all technological.
It's all
wizardry
normalizing.
anyways.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll auto-tune your ass to hell and back.
Oh, dude, we should.
Make you sound like Michael Jackson.
I should only talk in auto-tune.
All right. But besides bits, we will continue doing the podcast.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We'll post everything to YouTube. Obviously, there's probably other places to post the audio segment. Check there. Maybe we'll post there. I don't know where.
No, we'll fucking.
You
link
know
it
better
if
than
you-
me.
Yeah.
You're asking.
Yeah, exactly.
Stop being so aggressive.
Apple.
We're not on Apple. Not there. That'll probably be the last
Apple.
place you ever find us.
No,
just because
no.
I don't even know how you would start that. I hear Spotify is pretty hard to get onto also.
Yeah. That like the U.S.-Chinese relations are a
We'll
little
just
tipsy right now. So.
We'll just follow you in your SoundCloud rapping career and just post on there.
There you go. Just ride those coattails all day long.
Mm-hmm.
So
We'll post directly
13.
on your SoundCloud.
My fucking
account.
13 people that are following.
Oh yeah, dude. They'll go from hearing like some rap from 6 years ago at this point.
Oh yeah, God.
To a podcast
Oh my
that
God.
they'll listen to all 2 seconds of before leaving for good and unfollowing you probably.
I'll just I could post it to the Twitch, and then
Okay,
pretend
we're
that it's
ending
live.
this here.
Yeah, we're
ending
cutting
here.
this way too early.
All right, bye.
Bye.